Her scream didn't just echo through the jungle, it shook it. But the most shocking thing? It wasn't an animal crying out. It was a little girl. The Sundarban's jungle is not just a place, it's a spirit. A living, breathing ancient soul that has watched over both man and beast for centuries. Its dense roots run deeper than rivers, and its shadows have seen things the world would never believe. This story begins in a quiet village at the edge of that very jungle, where people lived simple lives, fishing, climbing trees for fruit, telling folk tales by lanternlight at night. And among those villagers was 12-year-old Mira, a firecracker of a girl. Fierce, curious, and braver than most adults around her. But even the bravest hearts can wander too far. The day everything changed. That morning, Mira set off into the forest with her younger brother Ariv, looking for wild mangoes. It was a routine they'd done dozens of times. But that day, something felt off. Don't go too far, Ariv had warned. But curiosity is a dangerous thing, especially in the wild. As the sun began to dip, Mira chased after a bird, deeper into the woods, not realizing how far she'd gone. Then, snap. A hand clamped over her mouth. A cloth blinded her eyes. And then, darkness. When she woke up, she was tied to a thick wooden tree. Hands behind her back. Feet bound tight. A gag in her mouth. Her heart thundered in her chest. She tried to scream but only muffled whimpers came out. She was alone. Surrounded by nothing but endless trees and terrifying silence. But, she wasn't really alone. A pair of golden eyes. Something moved in the bushes. At first, Mira thought it was another danger, maybe a wild animal. Then it stepped out. A tiger cub. No more than a few months old. Fluffy fur. Big curious eyes. Small, but alert. Mira froze. The cub crept toward her, sniffing the air. Its golden eyes locked onto hers. She expected it to growl. Attack. Bite. But instead, it sat down. Just stared. As if it was trying to ask, "Why are you tied up?" Then suddenly, it growled. Not at Mira. But behind her. Two men emerged from the shadows, poachers, carrying long machetes and guns slung on their shoulders. Their faces rough. Their voices colder than steel. "She's perfect," one said. "Her crying will lure the mother tiger out. And when she comes, we shoot." That's when Mira realized the horror. She wasn't just kidnapped. She was bait. A fight nobody expected. Before the men could step closer, the tiger cub leapt, out of nowhere, claws out, full of rage. It knocked one man down with sheer surprise. The other stumbled, dropping his blade as the cub snarled and clawed. They hadn't expected this. They thought the cub would be easy to scare. But love makes even the smallest hearts fearless. The poachers panicked. But the fight, the sound, had drawn someone else. A rustle. A deep growl. And then, as she appeared. The mother tiger. Massive. Regal. Eyes glowing. Muscles rippling. Her roar split the silence into dust. She moved like a storm, but paused before Mira. One look was enough. Not prey. Not threat. Just a child in need. And then, to Mira's utter shock, the tigress used her massive claws to cut the ropes, carefully, gently. Not once hurting the girl. Mira collapsed to the ground, weeping silently, overwhelmed. The cub returned to its mother's side. The tigress gave Mira one last look, as if saying, "You're safe now." And then they vanished into the jungle. The aftermath, what they found next, will leave you speechless. Hours later, Ariv and the villagers, torches in hand, entered the forest, desperate to find her. When they saw Mira alive, sitting beside a broken rope, surrounded by paw prints instead of bruises, they couldn't believe it. But just a few meters away, they found the true shocker. The two poachers, unconscious. One with deep claw marks across his chest, the other limping, bloody, terrified. But alive. The tigress hadn't killed them. She had warned them. Left them alive, but marked. Their bags were filled with traps, snares, and illegal hunting equipment. The evidence was overwhelming. The forest department arrived. Arrests were made. But the real story? The one no one could stop talking about? A tiger cub had saved a human child. And the mother tiger had shown mercy. The change that followed. Mira's story spread like wildfire. News channels, conservationists, even international documentaries came. She was invited to speak at schools. She became the face of a wildlife protection campaign called "Their Forest, Our Responsibility." But Mira never once bragged. When asked how she felt, she simply said, "That tiger cub didn't see me as a threat. Maybe he saw a sister." The final message. She never saw the cub again. But sometimes, when walking by the forest's edge, she felt those same golden eyes watching her from behind the trees. Not as a predator, but as a friend. Some stories aren't just stories. They're proof. Proof that bravery comes in small sizes. That animals feel more than we realize. That even in the heart of a wild jungle, love, whether human or animal, can protect, heal, and unite. And sometimes, the one you're most afraid of, is the one who saves you.